Hello all. So, as you may have seen, I'd done the original Narnia film trilogy, which was quite a fun experience. Next, however, I managed to buy myself copies of the older film adaptations. Yeah, they're called BBCs. So yeah, these were like TV movies in the late 80s, and yeah, I'm very interested to see what they're like because I say not because not only will I be making TV and film comparisons along the way, but um, and also just see well not only the differences but some of the similarities, and then at the end we can go over book to film, no book to TV differences, book or to TV film differences. Yeah, just basically see what they do differently. So yeah, it should. Yeah, after looking at the product, so it starts with the Narnia map. So we'll get it about, and then I've got the DVD player ready. All right, so we'll go in 3, 2, 1, go. So yeah, a map. So that's interesting. It says highlighting some of the locations. Oh yeah, by the way, this is let's call this a first time viewing because I only saw snippets of this in year two. So yeah, so it's a first reaction basically. I quite like the art style. It's very oh there he is. Yeah, he's an animatronic in it. Okay, so it's going to straight to the train station. Okay, and it's highlighting the location and the year. So clarifying that. Yeah, because the film started it with the Blitz. Because was that originally in the book or not? But regardless, so this is just simply seeing the kids going. Because they, when I say film, so to simplify it, this is the TV version, and the trilogy is what I call the film version. And yeah, the film version, does have the bits coming about, and that emphasizes more of a reason for why they should evacuate. But in here, it almost requires like your knowledge of how serious it got in 1940. So having them to go straight on the train, I guess it just we'll see how the starting comes about. Also, I feel like all of these kids are very similar age. Yeah, so Edmund's still the snarky one. He seems to be downplaying it. And yeah, Peter seems to take it very seriously. Or wait until the eventually come about on. So you've got snippets of their personality. Well, Lucy's rather quiet, but I think we'll definitely see a bit more because she will facilitate the whole plot. But so far, I quite like the casting of these four kids. I know they've only said a couple of lines, but still, episode one. Oh, this is why this is so long then. So yeah, yeah. I never really watched a TV film because the original It back in 1990 was that a TV film, and I've heard of the film Birds as well. I really like the music in it actually. Um, wow, so they managed to get this car of cars somewhere. So yeah, they're just simply getting out of the car and now they see the house, and this is the housekeeper, forgot her name from the original trilogy. Let's see how she differs. Oh no, she's not saying anything. Okay, so they're just going along. Okay. Yeah, I feel like um, Oh, there's other stuff in the house. Okay. Okay. So I guess it does explain in. Because you can guess that they haven't lived in a house of maids, so that's why they're explaining that part. And I've seen the professor pretty much immediately. Did he like nearly forget that there were arrivals? Okay, so they've added that part of his character. So the professor has fought himself, and he seems to have more of a commanding presence because in the trilogy, he was. Mhm. And also just seeing he has like swords etc. on the walls, so I suppose he likes his history. Oh, and has his own study as well. Okay. Is it just those two then? Yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, if you're wondering why I was puzzled about the whole episode one thing earlier, it's just I don't think I looked at the back properly, unless I was half expecting it because of it being a TV film, because of course it would be in episodes. And then if I have to change disc, then yeah, I'll just make it subtle. Okay, so I felt like I recognise Lucy's actress. She seems to be familiar. Anyway, what I find a bit weird is that Peter and Edmund look like they're similar age, and so when they present Peter's like the high standing one, yeah, I just don't know what to make of it because the trilogy made sure that Peter was like the oldest. Anyway, so yeah, they've just been talking about their professor a bit and showing that they're missing London. And then just talk about what could be about in the countryside. And okay, so the rain is like a first inconvenience. Oh, this is actually quite interesting. There's like similar architecture bits and bobs to the trilogy, but when they go across, it reminds me of like some holiday homes I stayed in before. Has that kind of vibe to it. So they're all just like exploring all about together, and yeah, and also when they were talking about exploring like fields and that, I feel like that's like foreshadowing like the adventure they later come across. Okay, what room did she start looking at? Well, it's good. It's also good to be familiar of the area you're around in. It's also like really like taking its time as well. Oh, sorry. Um, yeah, there's like a lot of emphasis on like the actions they do. But yeah, as a TV film adaptation, it has a bit more freedom to, um, do with all sorts. If it does want to have some actions or scenes last longer. So the kids didn't look back, and now Lucy's going to just have a quick peek in the wardrobe. I wonder why she didn't let the others know, but maybe she fancied having her own space, but so I'm not sure. Okay, she's just making sure that door's open just in case. We don't want to mention the young ones like miniature parody in one of the young one episodes, and um, um, yeah, because what year would that be? Because the young ones was only made up of 2 seasons. Was that the mid-80s as well? Yeah, because just imagine like seeing this parody and the BBC then being like, "Oh, we're gonna do like official adaptations." Okay, so she's just had to grab one of their coats. But yeah, there was like even more of a transition in the film. With like way more coats, but in this instance, yeah, I felt like although there's all of that mist and trees, so that hides all of that beforehand, like somewhat. She's spotted the lamp in the middle. Not in the middle, but still. Oh, was that Mr. Thomas? Yeah, the film really made it over dramatic with him like hiding away in that, but in this case, the gifts and all the presents are just dropped far more casually. And I feel like this is like slightly quicker. Oh, he's going straight to the point about the prophecy. Yeah, it seems to be quite excited about the whole human side of things. Oh, of course, yeah, that's their castle as well, yeah. Also, Lucy didn't. Did she manage to explain about the wardrobe side of things? Felt like she got cut off earlier. Oh no, she explained the wardrobe. Oh yeah, did the trilogy mention about Mr. Thomas going to his own school too? I felt that's not the best idea to like reveal like the exact location because you only just met him. But he seems harmless so far. Yeah, he's slightly amusing. Yeah, I quite like this interpretation. In the trilogy, it was snowing, so the umbrella was already up. But in this case, is it like preparing for later? Yeah, because I don't think it's raining, no, nor it's snowing, no. Also, I feel like this is on set location. So yeah. Oh, the quickened the arrival of this. And yeah, oh my gosh, yeah, the cover is quite similar to the trilogy too. So yeah, the book, I think the book does give quite a well in-depth explanation. So there's various written books. Yeah, Lucy had a minor look in the trilogy, but there's a ton more emphasis then. Oh, Miss Thomas has a tail as well, but it's a fake one. Yeah, yeah. Why is he holding it like that actually? Oh, I think that look there. I think that's probably a sign of him trying to hide it in unintention. Yeah, and also the Lanza's already nighttime as well, so yeah, I guess it will remain nighttime for the rest of the series. No, yeah, Miss Thomas has now explained all sorts of activities they used to do. Well, assuming it's used to. Oh, okay, yeah, Lucy's asking that, and oh, he's nearly explaining the reason why the permanent winter has come about. Oh, but no, he's doing this instead. Okay, he's got his instrument out. Slightly different to the trilogy, but it can still somewhat see a function at least. Yeah, I remember thinking, like if I was told to make up a completely made up instrument, what would it be? And I would have actually really struggling. Yeah, I feel like I tell you what, is it like a recorder with a couple of bits of bobs like attached to it to make it more mystical? Oh, I swear, it looks like yeah, like Lucy's fell asleep, and I think she's like dreaming of this, which is presumably Narnia's history. Oh, that's animated. Oh, you do remember all sorts of animated bits and bobs. Oh, is that what he used to look like? Oh yeah, and then we're getting that small fade in and out just to show that Lucy's dreaming of all of this. Yeah, I'm always preferring this to the trilogy so far because um, yeah, I feel like I understood like that scene more, just seeing some bits and bobs of history and then it might pay off later on. Although I'm still wondering about some bits and bobs. Yeah, it's just because I remember in the trilogy, in the 2005 one, I remember just wondering why Aslan did come up at the end of the track, and when it went dark. Yeah, now this Thomas is probably going to explain why he's like unhappy, etc. You only met one fawn, Lucy. That's the first mention of the witch. Okay. He seems to be surprised that Lucy doesn't know of the witch. And then, yeah, it's explained that she's the one causing the winter. Oh, um, so I'm a bit unsure with Lucy laughing at that then. Because Mr. Thomas is actually, being serious. But it looks like Lucy's being taken seriously now. So yeah, Lucy's like, oh, you wouldn't do that, and I think Mr. Thomas. I think he's like scared of the witch, but at the same time, he doesn't. He seems to be fine. All he'll he'll protect her. Oh no, it's explained other consequences. Ten stone. Oh, okay, so that highlights like the ultimate consequence. Even this discussion about the witches are a lot longer compared to the trilogy. Ah, okay, so they're walking to be quiet because yeah, they were running in the trilogy, so um yeah, I feel like you can run silently, but oh well. Yeah, although just having like walk and be like, well, let's be quiet, it feels a bit less tense. But they have had I took the conversation earlier. Oh yeah, so they kind of trust each other so far, which is quite nice. Oh, so Mr. Thomas is wanting to keep the handkerchief instead of Lucy being like, "No, you keep it." Sorry, that's the dishwasher. Okay, yeah, like a quick bye, and who knows when they'll next meet up. Alright, is there going to be no passage in time? I'm quite curious. Oh yeah, still daylight. Oh! You just saw them exactly for the corridor, so there is no time passage. Hours? Okay. So this is see the whole time thing is explained. And so I think Lucy's understanding like what's happening, but she's like, "Oh no, please, you got to believe me." Also, now going to have a look. Although in the trilogy, it did decide to close off. Although, what did they do here? Is it look like close off again? Yeah, like because Lucy was like quite convincing. Although, but once again, why isn't it showing up? Oh, is it going to close off her as well? Is it like Narnia or Aslan? Um, like only allowing her to enter at certain times. Not to mention, Peter was quite belittling, like similar to Edmund earlier, so that's one difference. Although Edmund seemed to be a bit meaner, so she's a bit quite upset, and she'll most likely be feeling left out. Oh, she must have been isolated herself. Although what he was doing at the pond? Oh, there must be creatures. yeah, Edmund's still mean about the situation, so that's like continuing. So Lucy having a thing of never lying, I wonder if that will remain consistent. Oh, what are those markings of the map then? I still got to believe jigsaws are a thing. They're very they're not my thing, but I do like the final results, and oftentimes. Oh, Edmund knows where the piece was, so. Okay. Also, I'm kind of confused because age order in the trilogy was Peter, Susan, Edmund, and Lucy, but I almost don't know who's older because Susan seems to. Oh no, okay, Peter's admitted he's the oldest, so. Yeah, it's just I thought Lucy was. No, sorry, Susan was like the oldest. Also, Susan's counted down instead of Peter. Unless, was just in the subtitle, did Susan say that she's the oldest then? Oh, okay, so now they're playing hide and seek, and it's coming later, and oh, he's gonna go for the wardrobe. I'm actually quite curious, because, actually, because in the trilogy, if Edmund followed, Lucy last time, I think that could happen again. Also, I don't think Lucy should go for the wardrobe. Would feel like an obvious spot. So yeah, I think Lucy has like moments of glee, but also seriousness as well. I think at the same, she's like, let's see if this exciting thing is going to happen again. At the same time, she was probably remembering how she was being a rip taken, and also how serious the situation is with what Mr. Thomas explained to her. Edward's extreme, like a lot more snarkier. Oh, he spotted it. Although is he in eyesight? In eyesight? No, just in plain sight. Oh, Edmund's grabbing a coat then as well. So does that mean in the trilogy the kids didn't really feel the cold at first until they knew they were going to be out and about for far longer? Alright, so now he'll feel bad for taking a pill, yeah. If this is on set filming, then I wonder what forest this is. Yeah, because they won't be able to make all of this like surely far too expensive. So yeah, it looks like there's more an emphasis on Edmund being like, "Oh, Lucy, where have you gone?" But almost like the trilogy, there was. Oh, I know they did go out at the same time, but yeah, Lucy was lucky enough to avoid the witch. But it looks like Edmund's wandering a lot further, which is okay. Just I guess be careful. You're in a all over land. I hope you kept track of your steps. Okay, so he's apologising for all of that as well, which is because there wasn't like a moment like that in the trilogy. Like if anything, they did in the trilogy. Edmund's like, oh yeah, you're right. Lucy's making it all up despite him visiting it. But in here, it's just Edmund being quite apologetic as he tried to find Lucy. Also, it does sound whimsical. Also, it's horses pulling it this time instead of reindeers. But here's the witch. I remember. I forgot what the goon is called though. Oh, there's already that look of they made it into a cliffhanger as well, and then the credits are rolling as well. I don't know any of these actors. No. Yeah, I'll just let the credits roll. I don't have much to say. I am intrigued though. Like I said, I like the casting the best. Like, granted, all of the kids are quite similar in age, but I don't think that's not a problem. I think I was just used to, the more significant age gaps and how it makes them all stand out that way. Even if in the trilogy, Susan and Peter were of a similar age somewhere. But yeah, also just seeing the animated horse earlier. Um, Yeah, that I do remember seeing other animated creatures, in this film, despite seeing very little snippets. If you're wondering why I only saw snippets, it's because, not gonna lie, I was so much of a wuss at a point where I had to like sit outside the classroom with someone else, and we would do other bits and bobs whilst the others have fun watching this, presumably at the end of the lesson. Oh yeah, by the way, it looks like it's gone to the next episode, and it's showing that transition, with the map and everything. But yeah, I was just like looking through the classroom window a couple of times, being like, "Oh, kind of recognise that from the trilogy, but it still looks a bit spooky." Yeah, I can't believe I was so much of a wuss then. Yeah, it's weird because I can watch horror films even if they're not my thing. I'm more of a like adventure, sci-fi slash fantasy kind of guy, and I also like casual action. Those are like the things I go for. But there's some like comedies and uh, even like a couple of romance films I kind of like. So there's some variety I like, even if I have my preferences. I think the only horror film I watched all the way through is probably Woman in Black. Anyway, so it's playing the same snippets last time, and yeah, Edmund looks a bit stunned. Oh, there's a closer shot of the Queen earlier, but now it's not. He's a bit stunned. Oh, he's just got his stone already. She laughs at her jokes. Okay, looks like the Queen's making sure that that Edmund's human, but also that seems to clarify. Oh, okay, so she's made that connection. She's ever so tense. I wouldn't know how to respond to her. She's very stunned by this news. Also, when you mentioned like the holidays as well, so we can see that this is like set in the summer. Yeah, was that the case in the trilogy too? Okay, so the Queen looked like she was going to go for Edmund, but it looks like the Goon is saying, "Oh wait, hang on." So there's a slightly different dynamic compared to the trilogy. So now she's deciding to, um, a bit more competent. But yeah, Edmund seems a bit unsure, especially with the way she stood up. But I am correct that she's like over the top. Oh, so Edmund's just sitting on the footrest. Oh, okay, now I cut to Lucy. I feel this feels like an old Christmas film, somewhat. It's kind of giving me that kind of energy. Oh, she's found Mr. Thomas for the second time. So the trilogy, we don't know what the second visit was like, but if this plays out, unless he's gone because of the witches as other goons, if this TV film is going to have wolves, I'm very curious what they're going to be like. There might be men in suits, actually. We'll wait and see. I'm already quite excited. Yeah, next time the credit rolls, we are going to talk about the the animated creatures because I want to make a comment on that. Anyway, oh no, she's gonna. It's the thing that she can summon anything. She's just gonna summon a Clark bar. You know what Rita likes. So yeah, they're just like wondering what's happening. It's just gonna be water. Oh no, it's like a really thick goo. What's that? Oh, it just puffs into existence. I like how that the goons' coat is eerily, no, no, I lost a word. Just extremely similar to the film. Imagine if they were like, "Hey, 1988 crew, can we like borrow your coat for the following goon?" And they're like, "Yes." Imagine if the flask was like made up of the same kind of goo. Oh, we should just take the glass away, cup away rather. Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's gonna look like last time was in the box, but this time it's in still a box. Oh my gosh, it's similar again. this, this looks like it's like floating on a piece of string, unless it was animated. Oh my gosh, I think that was animated. What does that mean on its own as well? Okay, that's yeah, like modern films don't really do that anymore because it's a bit tacky. But I think back then it's endearing. I think it still is. It's like a project of the time. Yeah, I think in the trilogy, I think Edmund ate about 1 to 3. But how many does he have? Got 2 so far. Delicious, despite coming out of a food generated thing. Adjust. Oh, she could just wait. Hang on. The same weapon that turns people to stone can summon tents. um, that's a it's a bit broad. She has these flasks that can summon like any type of food or drink, but also her weapon can summon tents. Okay. Okay, so now they're talking about spies. Okay, so it's just getting a bit more of an idea. Oh no, he did more of them. Oh, it's piqued their interest because it's similar to the prophecy. The number of siblings. No, you can't make a joke. You can't joke about how they're not human. That's a bit mean and it'll confuse her. Although it'll be good to confuse her actually. Considering what her intentions will be. That's because you ate them all. Oh, okay. Edward doesn't know what to make of it. It sounds like a theme park thing, calling it a magic house. So she's using the same thing, as the film, using sweets to lure him, just him. Oh, now she's. Oh, okay, so she's talking about Edmund as if like a substitute children because of how she doesn't have any. That's different. You would need a variety of other things to eat, not just the Turkish delights. Oh, how come? Oh, the Queen doesn't seem to like how Edmund's like, no, I want to go on my own. Although so far, oh yeah, I think yeah, Edmund does get blittered a couple of times, but I feel like the film already like made more of a feel for why Edmund would be like, oh yes, I would be willing to sell them out despite not running understanding the consequences. Or now she can make the thing more transparent. Oh, what are these two hills? Okay, so she's labelling some of the geography. Yeah. So she has a house, not a castle. Okay, we'll see what the house is like. Maybe it still be a big one. So the goon is listening in on this. I wonder how that will pay off unless he's just doesn't have anything else to do. Oh, so the Queen is like aware that one of them is, out about Narnia, and she's like, oh no, just don't mention anyone about me. So she's making that kind of information quite clear and, quite almost like threatening with it. So yeah. Oh, the witch's coat is similar to her goon's actually. That's okay. Oh, there you go. The tent just vanishes. it's like really practical. But Edmund's like, okay, if I've had to do these tasks if I want more. But Edmund doesn't want to make of it. But yeah, in the film, it's like played more naturally. Like even when when the witch was sternly said no in a stern manner, um, it played like more of a normal conversation. But when Ed was like walking out of door, she just screamed. She's just it's definitely not as human. Oh, is the lamp cold? Oh, okay. Wonderful despite spies and eternal winter and witch. Okay. Also, Edmund's pretending not to know her. But he's probably doing that to get a bit more information. Oh, she's labelling other creatures that exist. Oh, she's talking about how it's never Christmas either. Yeah, just then. And you at least has some idea what she looks like. Okay. Also, both this and the film doesn't really cover all the negatives of winter, other than it's just the White Witch. Although winter does like shut down vegetation and that, so yeah, I guess it's just bits of bobs you can infer. Also, why is it night time? Yeah, because if the lamp is not far from the wardrobe, did they just like go around in circles and now it's night time? That's a bit odd. Oh, will Edmund say, "Oh, yeah, I believe her"? We'll wait and see about that. There we go. Just seeing them going downstairs. I suppose it helps with like geography of the house actually, to which I have some okay idea of. What you're looking for. Oh, it's the hide and seek. Of course it is. Okay, so now there's this. So, but it looks like Lucy didn't really clock on about the whole time skipping thing. So they're asking her straight, or would Ledman submit it? Oh no, 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 he's downplaying it. No. No, why are you doing this, Lucy? I know they're like young siblings, but come on. And this probably adds a bit more for why Edmund would like to sell them out a bit, because he's getting heavily belittled. Oh, now she's the kind of Susan's kind of character being like, we need to start nagging at each other. And Lucy's getting really frustrated that the experience is real. So yeah, they also talked about writing letters to the mum. So they have a way to communicating. Also, I feel like if their professor talks about logic, then I have seen that snippet because what was it? In the Last Jedi video made by Pack From Media, he keeps playing the clip about a guy talking about logic. Like a constant intertwine. Because not to mention the snippet of the White Witch was in there. When he was like montaging all sorts of different characters. Oh, Lucy's not Doris Thomas. That's kind of a cool detail. She's like kind of missed the event already. But I don't think she's like understanding the danger. But she is younger, so yeah, that's understood. Whatever, what are you gonna do? Also, not gonna lie, I did kind of miss what the kids were saying to talk to the professor about, but oh, okay, so I think it's just more to do for what it's just talking about the sibling rivalry. Also, Lucy tends to be the more believed one. So the professor's almost like a mentor for these kids, like a temporary one, so that adds to the dynamic a bit. There's the clip. There are many possibilities. Oh, three possibilities. Yeah. Oh my gosh, there it was. So he's explaining a very interesting theory, although I kind of lost the plot, but it's basically talking about believing Lucy almost. That's like the grander topic. Um, the professor was a bit more like, oh really, in the trilogy, but in this, he seems to be. It looks like he doesn't know about the wardrobe leading to another world. Oh, now they're talking about the time skip. Oh, did he buy the house recently then? So he's entertaining the idea of Lord to New World. Okay. And I feel like he's trying to explain some of the time skipping too. Is that Peter and Susan are going to go into the wardrobe because the professor's like, oh, have a go? Which is an interesting idea, because in the film, it just has like a more efficient idea of trying to hide because of cricket going wrong. Oh yeah, he's needs to go back to work. I know she's off, Lucy's off wandering. I wonder how far she went. Oh yeah, if this is BBC, yeah, this is definitely like a English area. I tell you what, next time it's the credits, I'm gonna try and find some trivia. Oh, so they're gonna keep themselves out of the room. Okay, yeah, just so it doesn't cause any more kerfuffle to it. Fair enough. Oh, would the cricket game like still happen though, and then that becomes the reason? Oh, who are they? The staff? Oh, okay. So are these like her mates or other staff? Okay, she's not a fan of the South then. Oh, okay, so now they're just gonna. I tell you, what, now they're gonna hide from the wardrobe because the leading lady or whatever is she called like Mrs. McCready or something? No, that's the bus driver in Ballabori. But oh, okay, well the music is more whimsical. So yeah, she only tell the kids to get out of the way. They're supposed to just kind of a bit of fun by being like, oh, oh, now they're yeah, they made like their own little oath to be like, oh no, let's stay away from the wardrobe. But now they're gonna be like, oh, but we're gonna have to go in there and hide in there. Oh, now the wardrobe's opening itself. Okay, yeah, I suppose yeah, because you never know they could um like go in there for inspection. So they're just gonna casually hide. Oh, she notices the temperature. Even Lucy right there is gonna be like, oh, you might notice it being there. Oh, now they're gonna wear the coats. But is it gonna appear? Oh, it'll be wet because of the snow. Okay, so it's just appeared just now. Oh, now they believe her. Yeah, it just like randomly like appeared just then compared to the old one because they're all just like crowded by their coats and they're like, oh wow. But instead they make it to be like, oh, it's just suddenly appearing. Oh wow, that looks cool. Okay, let's explore. And just I guess like a tiny acknowledgement of Lucy being in the right, being bleed finally. So now they're gonna work there. Oh, he's apologising. That's good. Oh, look at me in the trilogy. They made Edmund apologise, but in this case, it was like Peter himself just saying sorry to Lucy, which didn't really happen in the trilogy. They're like, "Oh, Lucy, you're right. Oh, Edmund, so sorry." But there were shoes in the wardrobe too. Okay, that is something, or more practical way of going out and about. Oh gosh, I just realised. When they go back in the wardrobe, they're going to be like, "Oh my god, we're moving for all sorts," and then she'll be like, "Oi, shut up! I still have my mates being around. I told you to stay out of the way." Yeah, that's a prediction. Okay, so now they're confronting Edmund about it. Oh, and now they're falling out Tad as well, making a bit isolated. That's a bit mean. So yeah, I think she's well, Edmund can't really say anything, but he still can lead the kids to the witch. Oh, sorry. Or at least it's like, oh, let's see Mr. Thomas, but oh, that door is properly broken. And it's made that even the kids can recognise that something's not right, especially Lucy's reaction. There's a load of items being thrown outside too. Oh, that must be wolves. It's damaged that painting. Yeah, there's been no fire. Oh, has it been lived for days? So has it been like even more time skips? Like for instance, has Mr. Thomas been like gone for days since him and Lucy last saw each other? Oh, there's a letter. Or is he gonna go outside to read it? Yep. Yeah, good idea. Yeah, it was only vaguely just up in the trilogy. Also, I think that applies to the trilogy too. Did the Queen of the Goons leave the letter to be like, oh, just in case the humans come along? Oh my gosh, is that what the wolves are gonna look like? Alright, we'll see what he's like later on. Decided to growl at the end of the letter, fair enough. Imagine if he wrote the letters. It's like that moment in SG4 where one of the character goes HMMMMM because you can't make him sound So you imagine if the wolf wrote that in the letter. But yeah, in both this and the trilogy, why was the letter there in the first place? Could it to be like if anyone entered the home, so explanation why it was broken into, unless it's like all humans. Although the letter isn't like for the humans, like it's just labelling Mr. Thomas's charges because they're getting involved with them. So it must be like a type of warrant of some kind. Anyway, let's quickly look for some trivia. Line the witch. Oh, very quickly, animated creatures. Yes. Because because I think the latest we've seen that kind of thing is like in the second Mary Poppins back in 2018, and when they were interacting with many like animated characters then. I feel like even if it seems a bit outdated and not very matching because we used to having humans be next to hyper realistic creatures, with the CG and the 3D and that. But I say, even if 2D is not harder, why not, bring it, back, create like a brand new experience. I just can see that being like kind of cool to do. Um, over to the wardrobe, 1988 trivia. So we'll find some facts. Oh, okay, so that's just reminding us at the end of the letter. So it said just come along. So the wolves are the versions of the police then, fair enough. So yeah, the others have been caught up. So Lucy wants to stay. As if these four kids are going to overtake a witch. That sounds quite dangerous. Oh, Edmund's, well, despite the intentions, he's pretending to be like, yeah, why don't we stay, etc. But Pete's not listening to him. Have they ever watched any big girls, good luck trying to find food out and about. But at least that's actually like it's a simple yet a dilemma that makes some sense. Why was Lucy and Susan holding each other like that? I knew it was a bit snowy, but I don't know, it just sounds like they were giggling about something. Okay, so now they've had a discussion about who's in the right or wrong, but Peter's like, no, if Lucy was saved by the Fawn, then he's the one to follow. Oh, that's the beaver, isn't it? I remember him being in the suit. So Susan seems to be wanting to go home. That seems to be her character. It's such an odd shape. Imagine making a silhouette out of this humanoid beaver. What's he doing? Okay, okay, so he's. Oh, I'll tell you what. I bet the beaver's like making these gestures because they're like, "Oh no, you need to get moving. Come to me, and I'll keep you safe." But now they're discussing whether to believe this or not. And they're still wanting some food. Yeah, giant beaver. Yeah, I just like how the kids are like, oh, they should have been calling it a giant beaver. Also, they're just gonna cut to see what it's like, but it seems to be fine. It looks like a massive tortoise shell behind him. I find it like endearing, but it's just like a product of the time. Even if I do like respect to like the resources and that. But yeah, I just feel like how could you make a humanoid beaver better? I don't know. Yeah, there should be uh, entertaining with the idea of that the beaver could have been even them into a trap. Or we thought to ask, why not ask that first? Oh, well, I suppose the danger thing. Oh, the prosthetic is for the beaver is not too bad. Like it fits around the face nicely. Oh yeah, of course, yeah. He has the napkins. So yeah, even Edmund was like, how do we make sure you're on the good side? And no, yeah, thanks to the handkerchief, yeah, it does help confirm that Beef is fine. And he's explained a bit of the arrest. Oh, why are they all slowly looking up at the sky? This is the first time I've heard of Aslan. I like how he's like the least bothered. What was that transition? They don't know who Aslan is. Like, not yet. Not at this point. I also like to highlight that they're here and now it means that, Aslan will be more prominent, but I don't know, it's like an odd way of showing it. Or no, just like how immobile the beaver is. He's like really stiff. Yeah, it's the suit. And he doesn't have any elbows, let alone knees. Was that at their home? Oh, I can see it better now. Okay, that looks kind of cool. Like it looks handcrafted. I like it. Oh no, I think it's just like a general window actually. Yeah. For a second, I thought it was like a window prop that's just like slapped on. Yeah. Yeah. What's the lady beaver going to be looking like? So the I think one detail I like is that the beaver seems to be rather good at wandering around these lands, like no problem, but the kids have to really be careful of their steps. Oh, there's the hills coming up. Yeah, yeah. At first glance, yeah, it just looks like Edmund's just getting distracted. The beaver has like a filmogram or whatever it's called. Oh no, it might be like a sewing machine. Okay, she doesn't look too different, except for the voices. Oh, she's been looking forward to them, like the trilogy too. Oh, and okay, now they're going fishing. Okay, and Lady Peter's going. Okay, well, okay. Okay, so they're just chucking Edmund the clothes. I think they are like kind of mean to him, almost in it for him to like learn some respect, but without knowing that he's kind of pushing Edmund away. Okay, so they're all sharing some task. How does this fishing work? Is he just gonna quickly whack his hand into the water? Is that what's gonna happen? Yeah. Also, not gonna lie, when Mrs. Beaver was talking about laying the plates, I remember, oh, I was right. But like, so it's not just grabbing them; it's almost like triggering them to jump out. So yeah, it's a kind of a clever method. fish. I suppose if it literally just come out, it's fine. But I don't know. The film had it so it's cooked. Wait, hang on. If it was like fish and chips in like the trilogy, where did they get the batter from to fry it? Unless it was like a old-fashioned kind of batter. What's that? That must be like a dessert thing. What is it? Treacle tart or treacle cake? Also, they know how to cover their tracks, so that's, they know how to get themselves safe. Oh, so after the dinner, then it could be like, okay, well, now we're talking seriously. So secret police is the wolves, aren't they? Oh, hang on. So Edmund's just left off screen, and now they're talking about what's happening to him. Oh no, he's still there. He's still there. Oh no, they were talking about Mr. Thomas. Okay, of course, about him being captured. In stone, yeah. And that, yeah, Lizzie's heard before, but it's scaring her a bit more then. Unless, as time comes along, we'll see how that plays out in this version. They get so excited whenever his name is mentioned, but now they're going to finally ask. The whole world. Oh, that world. Yeah, not wood. Oh, Edmund doesn't like being laughed at like that. So yeah, I think he's talking about that Aslan is more powerful. I think that's what he's implying. Well, unless it's like a season cycle, winter doesn't just go permanently unless that's just how it is in this world, like permanently spring, for instance. Yeah, but I think they just need to stay in the night, don't they? The King of Beasts, okay, so. Oh, so they explain the whole align thing, okay. So they explain a bit more about why Aslan's a lion, which is kind of a neat detail. Yeah, so just reassuring that he's he's just on the good side. At least Peter's being honest. Tomorrow, yeah. Oh, they mentioned the table. Okay. And they're talking about the route, and also now Mr. Thomas is acknowledged, so it's going to Aslan and then Mr. Thomas, to which, yeah, sounds sensible. Ah, so the TV set this is like, trying to explain or trying to entertain the idea of the witch being human. So okay, yeah, because the trilogy didn't really account for this, but in this year they explain the whole bits and bobs about how the queen is like impersonating a human, perhaps. Or now they're possibly being explained. Yeah, they're explaining all sorts, aren't they? Considering this is for kids, it does actually require a lot of listening, unless they're just going to be entertained simply by the costumes, etc. Oh, Edmund's not at the table. Who's missing? Yep, another noticed. That's what the shot helps clarifies. Well, now they're a bit worried about him. Well, more than worried, actually. I wondered how Edmund snuck away. Did the beavers not go like, "Hey, hang on, where are you going?" I just wondered when he last went, because I feel like the last shot was when he like turned away from the beaver after being laughed at. But oh, what are they going to do? Let me guess, this is going to be the end of this episode. Wait, did I even nick something before leaving? Different directions? No. Wait, how did he make that guess? So the beaver's already drawn to the conclusion that he's gone that way, but the beaver didn't have any like hints of Edmund like encountering the witch. So, oh, Edmund just had a nasty slip. Then was that meant to happen in the filming? I hope Edmund's actor's all right then. But yeah, like there was no like previous hints of the beaver being like, "Oh yes, I'm right," he was going to betray us, but there wasn't any of that. Well, very briefly. Oh, hang on. Is it because the beaver saw Edmund meet the witch earlier? Is that why? Yep, okay. Wow, this is new. I do find adaptations very interesting. Wait until we get to yet another line Witch of the Wardrobe and how that will differ. Oh, so the kids feel a bit off about this information, but I knew they were going to say that, yeah, because Edmund's their brother, yeah, them. And also going for Iceland would be a good idea as well. They haven't addressed that yet. Oh yeah, so they are explaining that if all four of them are going there, then there'll be nothing they can do. But Iceland could still send the forces, right? Okay, yeah, the Beaver is being quite smart about this, so yeah. Also, Edmund's taken a much longer time making his way. He looks stroppy. Although he's a bit worn out. He could be thinking about his decision, but if he's just been belittled over and over again. Oh, hang on. He's just created an astral projection. Is this like something to do with the prophecy, like talking to their own conscious? jolly nice. She was over the top and screaming at you. Like, she wasn't nice to you all the time, not like the first meeting in the film. I have to say, the acting with all of the kids, I think is like rather good. Yeah, I think they actually do quite well. Yeah, because all of them look like, none of them look like teenagers. Oh, and just had a small fall. Oh yeah, if he didn't hear much about Aslan, oh well, he's talking to himself again. Was that a book thing? Imagine this happening in the trilogy, Edmund, having his own conscious like spawn out of him and having a quick chat. Oh gosh, imagine that. Oh yes, I was right. Yeah, by encountering him, he will solve the problems. We'll better quickly disarm this alarm. Okay, so now there could be in danger. So explaining more of what she would do. I say this. I feel like there's almost like too much talking about one thing than the other because in the film every conversation was about a specific thing, and when they were talking in the hut, they only talk about very particular things. But in this, they're like, oh, uh, yeah, Edmund could be a betrayer because I saw him do this, and Edland's our hope, but also this is the route of how we get to him. And let's not go to the castle because it might be bait, and if before we go over there, then it's all game over. Although if I manage to track that, then that's fine. But gosh, like imagine if you're like a young kid and you're trying to listen to all of this. Oh, those are bats, animated ones. Okay. Also, the witch is well, unless this is like a fancy mansion, that still looks like a castle. Unless you lied, you're describing it as a house when it's this massive fort. This is that she used to play Minecraft. So yeah, they were animated bats. That's kind of cool. Oh, that's what the stone effect looks like. Okay. Because yeah, Edward doesn't know anything about the stone thing yet. So that's a different dynamic of how he interacts with the statues because Edmund in the film, Edmund didn't really took much notice, and then he also like drew one of them. But in here, it was like, haha, I'm moving above you. So he seems to be entertaining the whole royalty thing, more so. But yeah, there's some variety of the creatures, and their land seems to be far wider. It looks like there's still plenty of a space to be filled almost, and it looks like it's still outside. Is that real? Oh, okay. He had like a second form, like a normal wolf, and now he's a humanoid. That's the guy from the letter. Let's see if he's just as fearsome as the film version. The film made sure he's a bit on edge, but in here, he looks like he's getting mildly tempted, just almost like being told off. Oh, okay, now he's already stating for where the siblings are at, straight from the off, instead of saving it for later, like that was in the case in the film. Okay, so the wolves just threatened him and also told him stay put. Yeah, you're not very comfortable now, are you? Oh, so unconscious was like speaking to him again without appearing. Oh, okay, so the wolf must have confirmed this plus the information, and now he seems to be a bit more jolly, to which, okay, we'll see how that goes. Perhaps not so fortunate. Oh dear, something's not going to go right. Oh, okay, so it's going for like a stone theme, but it's a bit green. Because even if the... Oh, there she is. I like the decorative parts because, the film versions, the castle was a bit barren, but at least it really carried over the icy theme, but it's not so much the case here. Yes, you are here. So the witch is already angry with him by being like, well, you're on your own. Oh no, the wolf didn't pass the information on about them being at the hut. So are they... Does she know who the beavers are? Oh, so Edmund's just oh yeah, of course he was around when hearing about Aslan, but now he's decided to tell them about this as well. But the information seems to be like moving like one thing to another, like almost like too quickly. Although I guess so, the witch is like going really up and down, being like, "Oh, that's good. Oh no, that's bad news. Oh no, this is like even other bad news." So it seems to be kind of quick, but now she seems to be a bit unsettled about Aslan. Without bells, okay. I didn't hear the bells last time, but okay. Good to remove them. All right, so the kids are in danger, and now we've got the. Just like a EastEnders reference. I tell you what, I wonder if someone's like got at the end of this episode, and when the witch is like, "Oh, we're gonna send after the siblings," and then it plays the duff duff as it's often called. Anyway, trivia of this version. Or like the front cover, that's not too bad. It seems nice and straightforward. Anyway, okay, so the beaver's costumes were notoriously impractical and stay so much that in the outdoor scenes, a couple of assistants named the beaver retrievers had to stand around to pick up the actors up if they slip over. Oh, fair enough. It's weird because it looks like the beavers were more adjusted. Before C.S. Lewis's death sold the adaptation rights entire Narnia series, at that time he absolutely despised television adaptations of his books, believing they were non-realistic since actors had to wear suits and play non-human characters. Okay. I wonder what he would have thought of the film version. Okay, so the credits are done, and now we're seeing the map once again. So I'll just quickly read the next bit. So that's interesting. Carbareville means to lower court from Welsh cae, something like that, meaning a fort, and the Old French Parivale, meaning either lower or in the valley. Okay, so that's just a fact. Yeah, let's just prepare myself for the thing. So yeah, we learned a couple of new bits and bobs. Yeah, I tell you what, why don't we look at the original trilogy? Not original trilogy, but just the trilogy's trivia as well. I reckon there's some interesting bits and bobs happening then. All right, so back here again, and we're halfway-ish of the entire thing. Okay, so they're getting the stuff together. It looks like they're preparing themselves before they get attacked, which, yeah, I think they did entertain that idea earlier. Also, was he packing? I bet all of this is food. That looks like normal packaged butter then. It looks like he got that from a supermarket. I'm not sure if this is me, but I feel like Susan is more involved in like all of the conversations and has a bit more character compared to the film version. I feel like I can understand and see more about her. Although again, the way she's getting all stroppy and a bit panicky. The way she was just like flopping runs about. She is weirdly unpredictable, which is kind of a good thing. You want your villain to be unpredictable, but like I said, it's just a bit over the top. So he's asking about the sweets once again. Or what would it be? It was like bad stuff at the salad in the film, but what about here? Oh wow, that was made quickly, I think. Is Edmund gonna like sit on the stairs to eat it then? Oh no, it's just been handed to it, okay. Oh, did they get a type of meal each? Oh, he's like, but it's just like, you're dissing my bread. I brought my own bread maker. Yeah, I knew someone recently, not long ago in the time of this recording, yeah, he brought a bread maker. Is this like the only wolf? Where's the others? Oh, there are others, okay. Are they going to work? Well, also, how would they run? They might have to do a Miranda gallop, but that'll be funny. Okay, so, but I think that's presumably thanks to Edmund, how they know the destination to the table. Okay, so yeah, so the balls are pretty much sent to the Beaver area, and yeah, I think Edmund's definitely regretting all of this. Oh, interesting. So he's gone from a humanoid into like an actual wolf. He transitioned into it. I kind of like that idea. Was that actually? No, I think that's definitely like a invention here because if C.S. Lewis didn't like the whole costume thing, according to the trivia I just read, um, then yeah, I think the film just had the idea of you can always like have both in a certain way. I feel like we're repeating all sorts of information, although it looks like they're all packed and there's some extra bits of warp, which is good. Well, they already know about her in the sledge. I'm not sure if that was confirmed in the film. Well, there you go. There's two. I thought I saw three. Now Lucy's going to be upset about Redmond, which yeah, is understandable. Olivia doesn't know how to make of it. I feel like the kid should have still had like one or two nice moments with Edmund, but then he starts getting little loads of times and it makes them be like, oh, we ever get the way he treated him. But I think it is just as simple as, having Edmund around is normal and it's nice to have the normality. He has the whip and he's just only just had that now. Did he finish his stuff? Okay, now he's getting brought along, so he was just sat on the floor without being taken to a cell, so okay. Oh, Lucy seems to be a bit happier now, despite what's been happening to Edmund. But they were like, let's just put the plants down, we don't need to take them. No, why do you want to take the stereo machine with you? That's like totally impractical. Yes, yeah, yeah, hurry up. Like in the film, they were like really like on the move, like have the table ready and what table ready? I mean, like all the resources ready. But in here, the Mrs. Beer is like, oh no, we could take the sewing machine, and like, no, it's too heavy, so they halted a bit too much. At least there is like far more of a distance. Oh, it is literally just two wolves then, okay. And like which is already leaving, so yeah, instead of just leaving it to the wolves, she's going outside too, to which yeah, fair enough. I was just thinking about it in school because it was like quite a lengthy amount of time they were we were watching bits and bobs of it. Um but yeah, this must be like all across a week, I think. Yeah, if watching over 2 hours of content. Oh, I bet it's watching like each episode almost, which is like 30 minutes. So I think that's what's happening every school day. Also, so the wolves in the other dome, but instead of everyone frantically being like, "Oh no, we need to get out of here. Our house is falling apart," but the wolves now arrived. It's all empty. Oh, what's the bunker gonna look like? Oh yeah, as if the okay, I know. I thought he was like literally checking the tablecloth, but no, he's trying to look under the table, isn't he? Hang on, the beavers have just simply gone outside. They didn't go through a tunnel, did they? Unless I've missed something. Right. Oh, I bet the wolf's gonna notice them. Oh no, he isn't. Oh, so he's completely lost them, so he can't even sniff out for them. So the other wolves are done for. They might get like punished or something. Oh, that's a real reindeer right there. But the filmmakers are like, oh, just hire one and chuck it in there, just add a bit more wildlife. Oh, and there's another one. Oh, could this be Santa? I'll wait and see. And I like how slow and pondering the witches. I suppose it's just going slow to find quicker movement. Although with the lamp, I feel like it's a bit of a dead giveaway. I said I was trying to ask the witch a question, but the witch is like, no, not answering you. Oh no, that's his conscious coming about again. Yeah. He doesn't seem to be like well secured, there's no cuffs on him. Because in the film he was just like, sat on the ground, and if he probably stood up, the witch probably could have got hold of him. But if him being sat right next to her, I just feel like it's not like the best way to carry a prisoner about. And is this because the snow helps with the hiding the tracks? All right, so okay, I don't think Santa's here yet. I don't know what those reindeers were about. Oh, but that's like a cove underneath. Yeah, in the film, it was like a massive like race, being like, "Oh no, we definitely need to hide because we need to run." But in here, they made it a bit of uh, more like just like a quick walkabout. Hoping they're way on site, away from play sight, and just going about slowly and hiding, and the wolves can't seem to track them at all. So it's different, but the film just made that more quicker. Oh, brought pillows as well. I don't think they were to be very big. Or let me guess, just a bag full of like infinite bits and bobs. So if Lucy's like wondering how to go to sleep, then what was this, like sleeping stuff? Could be. Yeah, most likely, yeah. So they're gonna try and sleep in a cave with, yeah, kind of like trying to sleep in that manner. So they're staying in a sitting cave, fair enough. Well, I think you should like block a barrier or make a barrier to block. But if they know that they cover the tracks, then fair enough. Right off the horses go, but hang on. I know Edward's asleep, but does the witch not sleep? Just be out here all the time. Oh, you might need to wake up. Wake up. Don't don't stop to sleep. Don't stop to sleep. Don't stop to sleep. I'm gonna keep saying that. Come on. Yeah, exactly. Come on, get up and go. I know you're just woken up, but even then, come on. Yeah, sorry, I think I'm sounding a bit unfair. Or they're gonna meet Santa. Is Santa gonna do something? Okay, seems to be fine. They're more in the centre of the forest, aren't they? His walk is so funny. Always seems a bit excited. Is this Santa? Because he wouldn't be reacting like this because of the witch. That's a bit of a long reaction. Oh no, the reason for the long reaction is because they feel like they're in danger, but is the beaver about to. Oh no, is it because of all of that hearing and then they thought they were found, but no. Oh, crumbling power. So their presence is already like affecting like the winter and such. But not to mention, looks like Santa coming about is because of them being around, to which. Okay, so that explains why Santa's appeared now compared to the film. That doesn't really explain why he just suddenly come along. Oh, so they've applied the Christmas bits and bobs. So they're hinting Santa. Come on, what does he look like? There he is. Oh my god, it's like the stereotypical Santa. Almost. It's a bit colourful. Um, it's like slightly authentic, but yeah, like I said, it's too colourful because it's like the lead paint of the red and green. So he really like stands out because in the film, in the trilogy, he's made to be more fitting of his surroundings, but in here, yeah, he just looks like he's been taken out of a Art for Christmas or something. Okay, there's the. Is that the same fox in that Rupert Everett voiced in the original trilogy? Oh, okay. No, it's just some of a random party. Okay. Guess it's just in of some creatures. Okay, so the witch is coming about being like, what's all this then? Oh, she's speaking my mind. Oh no, she doesn't like her creatures. Is that meant to be a squirrel? Oh, is it because of the diminishing winter and the feed has started to come about? Well, that's rather quick. Aslan. she's so over the top. Oh my gosh, it's Santa that's gave it to him. Oh no, she knows about Santa now. So Santa was trying to stop him. Oh no, she's turned the whole thing into stone. So like the food at the table as well. Fair enough. Wouldn't that have? That's like a really pathetic smack that was. Because in the film, it was just implied that if you like touch any living being, it turns into stone. But this now confirms that it can like freeze object and food as well. Yeah, what about the films actually? So Edmund's just staring at this, not knowing what to think. Unfortunately, I did miss what the Santa was originally saying at first, but I think he must have been acknowledging the situation. And he did mention Anton once too. Oh, he's repaired the dam for them. That's kind of cool. He's done that rather quickly. So, okay, so the beavers get rewarded by Santa too. So that's a nice addition compared to the film. Not that the film's inferior for it. I'm kind of just seeing both of them like in a similar way. Yeah, I don't prefer either or above at this time because I do quite like the extra bits and bobs here, but there's times where the film does some bits and bobs more efficiently and with the tension. So that's Peter's stuff. You can tell that they're like toys, they're not metallic. On the bow, that looks like. Oh no, never mind. Okay, for a second it looked like a Nerf bow, but it looks a bit more authentic actually. It was just what the case looks like. If Edmund was with them, in either version, does that mean Edmund too gets given a sword? Or something else? Maybe it could have been like given a crossbow, be like, oh, you're long range too. And Santa would have explained how the horn works too. And then it's the dagger and the. Oh my gosh, that is tiny. That's not going to do much. A few drops. Okay, in the film made it more efficient by. Wait, hang on. So the film has the bigger bottle and saying that one drop does it all, but in here it's the tiniest bottle ever and saying oh, it's only do like a few drips. That is not going to aid many people. Yeah, it's a tiny sword. A dagger can only do so much. Although, yeah, they can be handy. Just like Peter's sword and Lucy's bow. They're just various tools to help themselves. Oh, okay, just get some other stuff along the way. Fair enough. So he's just giving them some food, and yeah, well, are they gonna have a bit of a picnic, or they're gonna eat whilst they make their way? That's something I would do. Although just got given the goddamn tea as well. Although it's actually breakfast, so it's good to eat before they get going. They won't give them like someone to chop the bread that will have to use Lucy's blade or Peter's sword. Okay, so they actually made a joke about the bread knife. Yeah, go on, use their tools, I dare you. Go on, show me that they're trying to use Peter's sword to like chop the bread. Although I feel like it's partially lampshading, but it's far more forgivable here. Oh, so they're not saying oh Santa should bring the bread knife. They're saying that they should have brought one. I guess it's just blades do all sorts. When Oh, look at that look. Anyway, do you remember in like Bear Grylls? He has a blade that's handy for lots of things. So yeah, why didn't the beavers bring their own tool just in case? Hang on, are the horses like stalling because of it getting warmer? But also not to mention, it was the goon nearly taking the coat off and the witch being like, keep the coat on, but now it's been doing it for Edmund instead. So it's just a interesting switch. Oh, is there like birds coming out due to the winters? But there's also like more of an emphasis of this gradual thing, and you could just feel the witch feeling all of these steps of it, which I kind of like. It's just seeing her frustration of even more factors. Oh, okay, no, I thought the horses were being like, oh no, it's winter, I can't move, but no, it's the sledge getting stuck, so that's why it's probably too stony or muddy. So I guess this answers why the chariot was abandoned, and the horses too. The film doesn't acknowledge this, but it's no big deal. Okay, so they're just going to travel on foot. Well, yeah, they rest their foot quite well. Oh, there's the waterfall. Oh my gosh, are they going to have like a battle by the river like they did in the film? Actually, no. Yeah, so they've not made that scene, although they had the coats off already and all of the snow's faded. And have they eaten everything? Looks like they have. Bad Redmond again? Oh, he is tied. His hands are tied, so that's like a safety thing. Why did them two stop and... But hang on, why is the witch now going ahead of them? What was she looking at before? Oh, bluebills, that's nice. So there's more emphasis of being happy that spring is finally coming about. Yeah, the snow is like definitely going. Oh, is that the case? Because the films made it so it was the four of them doing that, unless the four of them coming about, therefore Aslan now has the ability to change the season. Is that what's going on? Oh, so they're having like a various montage of the vegetation, which is, yeah, quite nice, just more of emphasis. I felt like they would have to travel towards lots of different places in the UK for this. There goes all nice green, so yeah, like I said, it's just this more emphasis. Peter's shield is tiny. That is not going to cover much of him. Just many parts of his torso. Oh, why is Lucy stalling? Oh, she was getting distracted by the vegetation. Or maybe still disappointed about Edmund, actually. Oh, and I found the base. Oh, the sea. Yeah, the sea was not mentioned at all in the previous film, so wow, they're actually close to like a coastal area. That's quite exciting. Is that the score or is that legit music? But yeah, someone is like, oh, they're coming. Well, what's the engine going to be like? Oh no, they're here. They managed to follow them somehow. What about the scents and the footprints and that? Because it was the fox in the film that gave them like a bit more of an idea, but oh, so they decided to make the camp be around the table. Okay, so a lot closer. I've animated all of these creatures, so yeah, it's done animated quite well. It looks like it holds up. There you go, there's the rest, and there's Aslan the animatronic, or just the guy in the suit. Alright, there we go, got an EastEnders stuffed up. So yeah, I'm quite looking forward to see what it's like. Anyway, more trivia. Yeah, speaking of Aslan, Aslan's mane was made from real yak hair. Oh, okay, yeah, yak is like a cow with long hair almost. The eyes were made softer than a real lion's, while the face had animatronic functions. Two people inside the lion, somewhat like a pantomime horse. I was wondering about that. I was wondering with the people inside, yeah, because it would be dead expensive to try and actually make a endoskeleton, like Five Nights at Freddy's. Yeah. So okay, that's kind of neat. I like how they're improvising. Anyway, plot similarities between J.R.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings and C.S. Lewis's Narnia stories was no coincidence. Both men were members of a literary discussion group known as the Inklings, living trees and that move, fight, and also provide a safe zone. Language is created for the legendary cultures within the mythology. Uh, Rescues from towers by flying creatures are a few examples. Okay, because I remember some people saying that how the Narnia films were almost like discount Lord of the Rings, and I suppose there's some differences, if both Tolkien and Lewis came from similar eras and similar times. But I don't really like comparing the two because the fantasy elements are very different. So I was trying to put a light on. That's all of the trivia I can find. Oh no, it says 5 more. But regardless, let's go back to the recording. This is like different. All right. Let's see how the rest goes. So the Beaver's like, yeah, go and see him. Yeah, because Aslan is, he's like approachable. Even the trivia's talk about how the design was made softer. Yeah. So nearly everyone is, like a person, and if they're, but all the other creatures are animated, so yeah, it's just interesting with their approach because there's no CG to create like centaurs or etc. And I remember, um, so it's like one of those cases where the mouth opens and talking happens, but there's no proper mouth movement. I think it would be really awkward to have like his mouth constantly flop. It would have actually been rather tricky as well. I, Probably like a couple of times, but there wasn't like a significant argument that then caused them to leave. But also they making it as if Edmund definitely betrayed them. But in the film, they were just like, oh, we need your help because he's actually been captured. And it was just one of entertaining the ideas of, did he betray us perhaps? But in this case, they've gone straight for that idea. Oh, they decided to. Oh no, they don't. Well, it's just as well as flowers as gifts. They're just going to settle. Oh yes, that's the iconic castle. Okay, so Aslan's trying to move. Yeah, the two people inside the suit. Yeah, I wonder how well they do. Oh, it's working quite well. They don't not filming it much because, um, yeah, the film hinted about the castle, but this is doing it too. Okay, so the book is explaining more of no, sorry, the TV is explaining why Peter's showing about the castle first because of being the elders. Hang on, why is Susan using the horn? Was there Okay, oh yeah, because they're showing that one of the walls was there, but the way Susan was playing the horn was a bit blasé. She wasn't like playing it in a state of panic. Granted, the others were in panic. There's the animated creatures. Oh, now Susan's now screaming. Hang on, did Susan accidentally like give away the position of hang on, why is the background changed? They almost like enter like a realm where it's like just them two. What's going on? Go on, Peter, do your thing. It's just some simple swinging. Oh, the wolf's got him. No, he's gone for Peter's neck. He's having a go with this, although Peter could lift the sword up anytime soon. Oh yeah, there you go, like that. Good luck trying to bite Peter with the mask on. Oh, there you go, he's down. Oh my gosh, it actually has some stuff at the end of the tip. That's a bit risky for a, whatever this was rated, like U or PG. Peter looks like he was still stuck in a green screen because of the transition. But he's back into reality and they're like, yay, he defeated the wolf. Oh no, there's another one. Oh, that must be the one to follow. Yeah. So I think it's oh yeah, so they are going to rescue the Edmund. Yeah. So there must be like yeah, so they were going to be like, yeah, well, let's go and help Edmund. He's not fully betrayed them. Careful where you point your sword, Peter. Oh, okay, that's acknowledged. How's he going to clean it? Oh, you just wipe it on the grass, okay. Oh, he's trying to. So Aslan's using his own head to knight Peter almost. Okay. I wonder what was happening. Yeah, Peter seems to be quite joyful about it. Although I feel like the build up to it isn't like great, but neither was the film either. Because Peter never really had a moment where he. I feel like the moments in either product would have been better if Peter was like, oh, I'm no leader, but if there was like to sit above that, and then Aslan's like, oh, you're like properly knighted by me, then I just feel like that would have like made the moment even more nicer. Okay, I don't know what the wolf said earlier, but basically we can assume he's updated the witch about the camp and who's there. I know she's just summoned a variety of creatures. They kind of look quite menacing, and there's quite a variety in designs, and they're quite distinct. And also their own theme because they're compared to like the more colourful as creatures at Aslan's base. Yeah, because I thought she like summoned them like using a weapon, but no, they were just in hiding. Come to me. Wait, she's expecting the other side to come to her. Oh, because of Edmund. Is that what she's entertaining the idea of? Okay, so now they're just having a quick chat for what to do with him. Oh gosh. So they're talking about the idea of using Edmund and the table. Oh my gosh. Oh gosh, they're gonna. Oh, so that's why he remains tied up. Okay. Oh. Okay, so Edmund was that proper risk, but no, the others had come to the rescue and they're just in the nick of time. And all of the animated creatures fly as well, so that's like a cool detail. Oh. The interaction's not too bad between the animated, creatures and them. That's neat. Oh, there you go. Edmund's off. He's just lifted like an animated asset. Oh, there he is. He's so. Oh, he's interacting with the horse in a way. Okay, for a second I thought he was like, stood still like a gnome. But no, he looks quite convincing in the way he sat with the horse. That's actually kind of cool. Because Mary Poppins was 30 years before this, so yeah. Didn't one of the animated creatures just disappear then? Also, what? There's some of the other animated creatures, their own, so why didn't they like quickly come back to try and fight them off? Now they're gonna try and follow Edward after you. There you go. Oh yeah, what's Aslan going to say to Edmund? Oh no, we're not going to pay that conversation. Okay. Oh, did they? Okay. I kind of like their design inside this tent. Oh no, they did the same thing as the film where I don't hear what Aslan said to him. Although now they've seen him. Oh, Aslan's just giving a small nudge by being like, go and see him. So let's apologise, that's the first. Alright, so they seem to be fine. Yeah, looks like Aslan's happy about that. I know maybe an animatronic, but he's still presented as a character. It's just it just requires a um almost like a different level of suspension of disbelief. Okay, so he's willing to have a chat about um just see what the opposite side has to say. Oh yeah, because in the film that showed up, but in here they're like letting Aslan know that the others are coming. Lone Islands. So yeah, so right there the beaver's like, she ain't a royal, and the Aslan's like, no, just go on, just come and let her speak. Okay. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. If they're around Aslan. Oh, there she is. Oh, okay. What they're gonna say to each other? Okay, she's put the weapon away. Okay, so that's sensible. They didn't do that in the film. Disarming weaponry. Although they weren't really important any either. Bit of an even score, kind of like it. Oh yeah, so like the film, Edmund is treated as the traitor coming off her side. Oh, that's a unicorn. So this is some bits and bobs about the law. Okay, so that's explaining how some of the rules work. I'm almost tempted to say that the TV thing is making it a bit more clearer for why the Queen is going for Edmund and why she might be allowed to do this. Oh, there you go. So after the Queen's long monologue, Aslan's like, um, clarifying that yes, that is confirmed, but we all know what the alternative outcome is. Okay, are we going to witness no conversation? Oh, what they're going to say to each other? Unless it's just going to focus just on the kids, or will there be a transition? So yeah, Lucy's not really worried. Edmund surprisingly isn't scared because it's him on the line. So everyone's like quite yeah, they don't know what's gonna happen. Okay, so they're not showing us the conversation. Although by not showing the conversation, it makes uh the next upcoming parts more of a shock. There we go. Oh my gosh, she's scared. She's scared off like a wuss because of some roaring. Because in the film he does roar, but the Queen, does it? Tilda Swinton doesn't get hindered. But for the Queen to like run off in that manner, it's a bit like contradictory. For her to be like quite scary herself, but when the line rolls, oh no, she has to run. Why are they getting the tools? I suppose it's um, defense just in case. Okay, so they're all making their way to. So Peter's like treated like the like Aslan's right hand man almost, with what this shot looks like. So the battle looks like it's coming about, I think. Wait, the castle's going to be more involved in the battle? I was just wondering, did and either of the actors inside the lion suit, did they manage to communicate normally, or is it like in Empire Strikes Back where they both use earpieces and radio to communicate with one another? Um, yeah, which way around is it? Okay, so they still don't know what's happening now they're inside the tent. Sorry. Oh, also, yeah, with that okay, no, so yeah, I thought the battle was happening, but it isn't. Um, but yeah, like because they were carrying something, in that small line of beings just then. Oh, now it's night time, and Lucy's woken up by a sound of some sort. Hi, hi, I'm fine. Oh, she woke up from a dream. Oh, do be careful, go out and about. I feel like Lucy would be, no, sorry, Susan would be against this idea because she's the older of the two siblings. Um, well, they spotted him. Okay, there you go. Yeah, there's some music coming about because it's like making the whole atmosphere quite ominous. Oh, Aslan's now noticed he's been followed. He's asking why that's going on. So yeah, like in the film, in the trilogy, so Aslan, um, spends like some time with Lucy and Susan, but then has to go on his own because he does have to face um, face something. I can't think of a word. I quite like the music here. It's like quite soft. Yeah, the furthest I can go. Yeah, is that like in some reasons? Yeah, better find a good hiding spot. Oh yeah, there you go. Oh, all of those animated creatures, all of them are different. Oh no, there's a couple of similar ones. Right, so yeah, Susan and Lucy earlier were a bit unsure for what's happening. Yeah, they really don't know what to make of this. We're also seeing like what the other creatures are like on the Queen's side as well. It's quite noisy. Yeah. So it's said to. Oh dear, Lucy doesn't like this at all. We do keep cutting back to the reactions. But yeah, the trivia says that the mane was made out of hair from a yak, but it does generally look like a lion's mane. So now they're having to look at each other during this moment, which is slightly different to the film. So I like the film they cut away from it too. All they probably could do with moving. Oh, okay, so instead of running, they're just going to try and remain hidden. Okay. Right, let's just go back to the trivia for a bit whilst the credits are rolling. The BBC cast had a reunion interview 2003, which is included on some DVD versions. Oh, I could try and have a look then. Author Neil Gaiman, oh yeah, is a big fan of C.S. Lewis. He read the entire Chronicles, well, not all of it, after seeing this version of the Lion Witch and the Wardrobe. So he watched, he must have been, like quite young back then. So he must, because when watching this, like imagine watching this in the 80s, and even though it's, it's not a Hollywood budget, but it still has like that whimsical nature of it. So yeah, it's kind of cool that Neil wanted to see more of what this fictional universe was like. although C.S. Lewis wrote Lion, Witch and Wardrobe first, it is actually chronologically the second book. Yes, yeah, but just his nephew came first. Yeah, of course it did. Protagonist is Narnia is C.S. Lewis's most famous material. Yes, of course it is. Although his name is never mentioned, he who drove the witch's sleigh is named Nimrod. His name would be mentioned in the 2005 version of the novel. 2005 film version of the novel. Oh, okay, so the novel version of the film version, that name and character was carried over. Okay. Anyway, I just managed to read all the trivia, so it's now back on. So it's just, I'm just seeing them run along. None of them could see that they've hidden. Yeah, they're actually not hidden well. The Bevy Seeds aren't. Also, this was 88 and their reunion interview was 2003. Let's see. 98. So that's 10 years. And almost like 15 years later, so with a reunion cast, so I'm definitely gonna have a look for it. So yeah, I think they're assuming that all of their goons have left. I don't know how old Lucy actress is, but she's actually rather good. She cries quite convincingly. I felt like she must have been well trained somewhere. Oh, so I saw this snippet at school because they're the mice. Okay. I remember them from the film, but also does the sky light up again? I remember Aslan, coming back. So yeah, them two are just wondering what's going on. So I feel like they don't know what else to do, so I can see why they're leaving. But they left that in the air. Oh, and now they've did they just stay there all day then? They've hardly slept. Unless they did, but that's risky. There you go, the morning's around. And now they've seen the castle for the first time. Okay, so you've seen that. There you go, he's back. So he's going to explain why all of this is the case. Um, what is that Raw meant to do? It's a similar explanation to the film as well. So yeah, they seem to be quite thankful. Oh, there you go, that's some VFX work. Oh, he can fly. Oh yeah, this fight is taking place in the forest, so it's not as open as in the film, but let's see how they use their surroundings. Oh, so Edmund's almost acting like the commander. Which, okay. Oh, that's the witch's army. And also, like the film, the witch has even more of an army. I just even realised that looks like a T-Rex on the top right. Wait, hang on. Why did the witch just do that to? Was that to one of their goons? I'm not sure. I wonder what river this is. You know, if this is a BBC production, this most likely will be filmed in the UK. Oh, actually, let's let's quickly get some answers. 1988. Was it filmed? Oh, Evemore in the Scottish Highlands for the snowy scenes. The castle was in Pembrokeshire. White Witch's Castle was filmed in Wales. Oh no, sorry, that's part of Pembrokeshire, I think. Oh no, okay, yeah, Aslan stopped flying now. Anyway, and Hawkstone Park in Shropshire, I know that. And England for the grotto. I suppose just in like the middle of England. Okay. Oh, okay, that's some okay, so wow, that's actually quite a lot of locations. Anyway, so they arrived, and now they can see all the statues, and they're outside. Okay, so this is how. Oh, okay, a fountain started for some reason. The doves are going to help the battle. So yeah, he's just roaring at multiple beings. Oh, there you go, the dog's back. This is a real one. And is that meant to be a giant? kind of like the effect, even if it's aged. Oh, so there's a different way of how they play this in the film. So they're interacting with, this giant, for instance, just asking about what his experience is. But, they almost, get going to help. Oh, and the fountain. Oh, okay, she doesn't any messing about with it. I thought it was just too. I think some people would be, but some of the beings scrap that. Some of the beings will be probably drinking from that water, maybe. But you never know. Could be quite one too. Oh, he's kept his own area. Okay. And as I will most likely know who he is. So yeah, let's bring him back. So all of this happens before the battle. Okay. Yeah, because they may have not known. Oh yeah, no, yeah, I don't think they know at all. Because I did the film in the trilogy. I think they had like some idea what happened, but I feel like they didn't know here. And but they're also like not wondering where Lucy and well, they have wondered where Lucy and Eve, Susan are gone, but still, yeah, it looks like them asking the giant to break down the gate. Yeah, so for this giant, yeah, this is most likely like a miniature set. They go, then they got this, they got the one dog. Oh, they get that's green screen. Oh, so the animating is vaguely okay, with how they interact with like, the weapons and that. Well, some of it's alright. Oh, there goes Dunstone. So is that Pegasus, assuming it. Oh, is Aslan's team not just been um like cornered into a cave? Some bit more interaction. I'm actually like a bit lost with where everyone is. Although they're gone. Well, gone for now, Aslan will be bringing them back. Dinosaurs. Are they meant to be dinosaurs or like giant lizards? Not sure. Oh, they're doing stone too, so Edmund's losing more. Oh, they're gonna try and fight and face each other. That's got the goon. Oh, the brave is joining in the battle as well, just simply prodding. Oh, there you go. There's the weapon that's chopped. And now the witch is going to go for Edmund. Yeah. Wait, but did he like drop his weapons? Or they go, Peter, go on, go after her. Come on. They go, got some reinforcements. Yeah, come on, Lucy, use your tiny bottle and heal Edmund. Yeah, so thanks to Aslan being about. It's scaring a lot in the way. What was that meant to be? I don't know. Or what was I doing? Oh my gosh, did he? Oh my gosh, wait, hang on. So, in this version, Peter didn't get to fight the witch, but the reason the witch lost is because Aslan roared, probably caused, like, what happened? Like, was it some dude the cliff top, or yeah, what did happen? It was a relatively short battle. There's some bits and bobs I like in it. I like the prodding, and the beaver was just prodding an animated creature. God, yeah, he needs reviving. You can see where he's been caught as well. Wait, hang on. Why did he think? Why did Lucy have to be reminded about that? The film, had it so that. Hang on, Santa said loads of drips, but in this, however, she knows that little was still enough. Oh, he's been a bit strict. So there's a bit more acknowledgement of the end of the battle. Um, but yeah, like yeah, I quite like the like this different interpretation. For Aslan to be can cut it with Edmund later because everyone else needs help. Although yeah, they wait, hang on, they got straight to the point here, but in the film they were around Edmund for like quite some time, and Aslan wasn't like you need to help the others right now. So that's like a tiny aspect this adaptation probably does better. Oh, is that Edmund being knighted? It is, yeah, because Peter's with the shield. Where's Mrs. Beaver? I know she was absent from the film's version of the fight, but still, where is she? So yeah, seems to be well and good. Okay, so they're settling here first, and then they're going to go to the. Yeah, they're off to the castle. Yeah, there we go. We're much there immediately. I felt like these animated creatures, like they well integrated during these parts, and also when they were just fighting the witch and the goon, but they didn't interact. Like there were some good moments of like genuine interaction with the animated creatures and the battle, but the rest of it was a bit. Sorry, that's an alarm. A bit off at times, but I do admire the effort because it's not easy trying to animate whilst trying to see how you can animate around the live action footage. So also gonna have a quick look. So okay, so there's three more made by the BBC, and yeah, so Prince Caspian, Dawn Treader, which this film's version of, but BBC managed to create a adaptation for the Silver Chair too. So I'm quite interested to see what that's like, and also very quickly. there's yet another animated Blind Witch and Wardrobe, so I'm going to have a look at that. I was just probably read through of other adaptations, but I'm going to keep looking. I feel like I'm going to keep watching these comparisons. Oh, sorry. There you go, official kings and queens. And it would have shown the Beaver, being pleased that they've all made it. Oh, that's just to summon the crowns. I wondered what was one of these sun rays. Yeah, I could tell they're just animated assets. Oh, there goes Thomas's squeeze for them. Oh, there go, now they're proper hats. Also, that now they're ditching the all clothing and then they're all going to the sea. What's he doing? Is he going to go and join them? Not sure. This is almost like a reference to in at the start of the Prince Caspian 2008 film or 2007. They play in the sea. I felt like I like a reference to it. Nice to see them to have fun though. After all of this, and the beavers have picked them up all of the clothing, all of the cloths. Oh, okay, now Aslan's gone. Oh, that's an interesting explanation. So Aslan has to be at other places. Okay. I say, if they carried over something like that kind of explanation to the trilogy, I feel like that would have, um, like justified a bit more for why Aslan kept being absent and why he didn't come and go at certain times. Oh, Mr. Thomas is fighting. Oh, there you go. Now we fast forward. So yeah, they said a new change in laws. Okay. Okay, yeah, you could tell which one's which. Okay, and all of the labels were explained then, like Lucy the Valiant. Okay, so they're just casually deciding to go back to the wardrobe. But in the film, they haven't met the lantern in ages, and that's where Lucy's like, "Wait, hang on, we must be nearby then." And now they're back. Let's see what the current timeline is like. Don't upset the lady. Okay, then I spotted that way. Okay, without getting in the way. Okay, now they're going to talk about the whole of Narnia to him. Okay. Moth eaten. There must be. Yeah, God knows how old the coats are. Wait, I'm a bit puzzled. So he is going to allow, like, visits every now and again, to the wardrobe, them visiting it. Oh, he teaches classes. Okay, and so that's more of his occupation. Yeah, but that's smartly. Then it's probably like an indicator of yeah. I think it's like intentionally up in the air whether he believes them or not. Okay, yeah, that is pretty much the end of that. So, time for comparisons. Okay, yeah, I'm really looking forward to watching the other adaptations. Yeah, bringing these up first, and then I'll share my thoughts. But I quite enjoyed it. I like it for what it is. Um, Film book differences. Yeah, because whilst I found the trilogy, yeah, did mention the TV films too. Yeah, the animated BBC miniseries. There's very little comparisons. The film has huge list of differences, but not so much here. So your BBC miniseries, yeah. So, if there's less differences, that means that there's more differences to the like less differences to the books. It was like more in line with the books compared to the films where they did swap around loads of things and cut all sorts. Anyway, first one, when Edmund meets the White Witch, she magically makes a tent appear where she and Edmund talk. Yeah, so that's the TV serial making an original thing. Oh, yeah, pork bore horses instead of reindeer, so almost reindeer in books, okay. Like the three other media adaptations, I went to the Wooden Wardrobe. When Edmund asks for more Turkey which simply snaps no before she says no gently to him. In the book, she was content with Edmund when he asked for more Turkish delight and laughed. Okay, so in the book, the Queen was like more kind, I suppose, to which, yeah, because if you want to like lure Edmund, then being nice to him, to him is, adds to that sense of, I really want to, meet her again and, see, how things go. She's going to crown me and that crown, I was trying to say. But yeah, because in the film, I liked how, nice so she was at first, and she only snapped her no, only to then be gentle, to hint like a harsh side of her. But in this, with how over the top she is like all the time, the way she just shouted like no, especially after he just tries to ask for more, it's yeah, um, yeah. I can't really call it a flaw because with the way his life shot in that, it's it strangely suits it because the over the top kind of nature is almost like throughout. Like I said, it's almost like watching like a play or a production where it just requires like a different type of disbelief, like sorry, suspension of disbelief. Yeah, because if the likes of the beavers and the lions have to be costumes, then yeah, I think that's definitely the best they can do at the time. Um, I'm curious about the cast. I'm just going to have a brief look, see if I recognise anyone. Um, yeah, no, I don't recognise anyone. Oh, Ronald Pickup. He was in oh, what's it called? Marigold Hotel. He was like the older bloke. He was quite famous, and yeah, it doesn't say who played though. Um, yeah, I don't really recognise anyone else. No. Uh, okay. But yeah, just like a very interesting cast, and yeah, not gonna lie, I kind of oh, and actually no, because in the trilogy, like there are like other people are criticising the acting of and of the four kids, and whilst there could have been moments in this TV serial that could have been better, because I felt like when Susan was asking Aslan questions, like after the table broke, she like maintained a smile, and I was thinking maybe you should have asked out in a more like serious tone. Like I know they're glad that he's back, but I was a bit unsure of that. But yeah, regardless, Peter is played to be like quite posh, but like I said, it kind of suits the whole vibe of the show, and it makes him a bit more grandiose, I suppose. Um, but I feel like the trilogy does a bit more with him. I'm not sure. Um, Yeah, although yeah, both of them, both adaptations have, well, Lucy and Edmund are more characterised ones. And I mentioned earlier about how, although Susan doesn't really have an awful lot later on in the story, but there are like bits and bobs that, that were introduced, how she, tidy things up. And she also tried to calm down the brothers at one point during a bit of an argument. So I like those kind of traits. They're good bits and bobs, but we'll just see what the other adaptations do for our character. And oh, hang on, I better continue recording. All right, yeah, day two, I'm back. So yeah, as I was saying, I was just talking about the four kids. Yeah, if I was going to remember. Although, yeah, just in a nutshell, is that all of them are just like a different approach. Like, whilst the likes of Lucy's actress, I think, does a um, I guess I prefer the performance, but in terms of the character approach, I still like both of them. And Edmund is slightly different, as I've talked about a couple of times, and and yeah, Peter is also just different from the trilogy. But I guess I just like either of them. Like even though I grew up with the sorry, even though I grew up with the Narnia trilogy, I don't have like a like one of those mindsets where I'm like, oh, it has to be those kids and those actors because I'd be pretty open with other approaches, and yeah, and like I said, I already prefer Susan in this adaptation. Here, just with the extra character bits and bobs, even if a lot of it hasn't been expanded upon. And oh yeah, not to mention this film also does like a similar thing where it doesn't have a lot of time of Aslan before um, the stone table part happens. Because yeah, I just feel like if there was more emphasis on that, then yeah, I think that would have yield more of an emotional reaction. Like, granted, the two girls do quite well with how they the actresses how they react to what they're watching in front of them, but because there is that there's a theory that despite not having much time with Aslan, they've probably been inspired by him, or um you know uh you know or seem to really like him at a point where they don't want anything to happen to him, to which I could agree. Kids can bond rather quickly, but even then, I still would have liked more time, between them. And there's also other interesting observations, when comparing both adaptations. Like, there's like a couple of situations where it can be quite exposition heavy at times, like that Beaver scene, and it was moving on from one thing to the next. I was just like really struggling to keep track, and yeah, the trilogy attempts to make that a tad neater despite having to talk about loads of things, but this one went a bit too far for me at a point where I just can't believe I was just really hoping the kid any kid audience managed to keep track whilst watching this on TV. And not to mention, this does have like a couple of not that I remember any specifics, but I do remember moments when I'm like, oh, so this accounts for this, and this, when the trilogy didn't do, it didn't account for it. I know I say trilogy, but it's just an easier way of discussing which one's which. Um, I still, I do, I guess I still prefer the trilogy. Like, I know there's like a massive difference in budget, although the trilogy has a bit more moments of dramatic weight, like Dead Edmund getting hurt during the battle was um, like a potential hard hitter, and the White Witch was also better written. Like, whilst I did enjoy like this more of a dramatic approach, because that was what the adaptation was kind of going for. I just really like part of the White Witch was written in the trilogy. Yeah, just really smart and scheming, and yeah, had a lot of layers to her. And yeah, in this BBC adaptation, fortunately, because due to budget limitations, they could only either animate a couple of creatures, or have some dressed up in the likes of fawns, something easy access. But in the trilogy, they were able to expand on all sorts, like centaurs and CG gorillas, cheetahs, rhinos, etc. So that variation was rather good. And I think the BBC adaptation still does well differentiating between the two sides. Aslan's team has a bit more colour to them, whilst the Witch's team is made up of more menacing creatures. But not to mention the trilogy, well, no, like the trilogy, there isn't an explanation for why uh, their own are certain races on like going for their own side. Like, for instance, why are the fawns loyal to Aslan in the first place, whilst the witch has the Minotaurs, etc. Um, I would have kind of liked to know the answer to that. Although in the BBC adaptation, when summoning the animated creatures, that's like coming from a more specific area, so that's slightly an answer, but not an awful lot. And um, let's see, and yeah, the trilogy. Oh no, I think which one was? Both of them spend quite a lot of time in the house, and I also struggling to prefer all of them go to the wardrobe. All of them go in because of a cricket error, or all of them go in because of having to move out of the way. The first one's more dramatic, even if it is slightly minimal. I know cricket ball hitting something within the house is no laughing matter in the grand scheme of things, because the house was meant to be looked after. But yeah, I don't know which one I prefer, and yeah, because that's the other thing as well. There hasn't been, other than the BBC adaptation, accounted for, like a couple of things that the trilogy didn't. There hasn't been a lot of there's a lot of cases where I do seem to like, either adaptation, either approach. And even there's other bits and bobs like Mr. Thomas and Aslan, the actors for them. I do seem to enjoy both their approaches. Um, I don't, because I don't really know how to describe it. If anything, in the trilogy, James McAvoy played Mr. Thomas in a more like a naive way, but in the BBC version, he's I guess he seemed a bit more like posher and confident, but I do seem to like them both. And not to mention, from the trivia we read earlier, if C.S. Lewis wasn't too keen on the BBC adaptation, I wonder what he would have thought of the trilogy. Because it might have been exciting at some moments, but at the same time, I guess he could have been like, well, what has this changed the case? And um, yeah, I wonder what he thought of the more original ideas that the film went for. Like the cricket game, or the added Blitz intro, or yeah, I think it would have been like quite interesting. Yeah, because there's a whole heap of guesses we can make. When it comes to um, how the original author would have reacted to the adaptations, even if they, um, even if they aren't around anymore. People say, how would have Tolkien like the Lord of the Rings trilogy? Yeah, because that would have been very interesting to see that reaction from him. But yeah, I think that's all I can say for now. Because even the character progressions of all of them are nice and straightforward and similar to the trilogy as well, even if there are like some events that are slightly different. And I think one thing I didn't quite like in the adaptation is that whilst it was amusing with the witch running away from Aslan, it it did weaken her intimidation. Like if a simple roar could just scare her off like that. I think it just really undercut because if she was almost like the forefront of the deal they made, then her running away like that it's yeah, I did feel like it did like going from one severe thing to the next, because in the trilogy there was that moment where even if Aslan did roar back at the witch doesn't like change her reaction at all. She like still remains stern because her deal, as she thought, would have gone away. Um, so yeah, I think it just goes back to how yeah, if anything, yeah, like I said, the witch in the BBC version is, like I said, a lot of fun to watch, but it's definitely done a lot better in the original trilogy by Disney. Um, yeah, and yeah, a lot of the on set film location I quite like, and it does have that BBC whimsical kind of nature, but it reminded me of the Never Ending Story from time to time. And also, yeah, they did make Aslan fly. They did kind of remind me of that a little bit. And also the scene of getting him on. Oh yeah, there's more emphasis on the on a giant. That's new. And yeah, and um, yeah, I think that's all I can say. Yeah, because I've already said everything else. When watching the commentary, and yeah, I think I did like capture the end bits. In year seven, when I was like, when watching snippets through the window, I don't think I'll find this scary, and I was right. Yeah, it's not very yeah, it's not spooky at all. Well, it does have definitely a couple of moments, but nothing nightmarish or anything. Yeah, I think any kids would be alright being shown this. If anything, though, I might find the talking scenes a bit lengthy at times, but um, yeah, it's just like a product called adaptation, and it looks and seems maybe more book accurate. I can see that being the case because I don't know, it's just as long though, but maybe it did cover more ground because of the battles being shorter. I'm not sure. Although it did. Here's the thing: even the BBC adaptation, despite having a different approach with the professor, there was way more time with him, and it did explore more on the professor's view of the wardrobe, and more emphasis on whether to believe Lucy or not. So that was quite interesting actually. Sorry, I need to stop using that word. I can't believe it's been too long. So yeah, I think I'll start right there. I'm very interested to see what the others are like, and yeah, I'll see you next time.